Alright, I'm here with Stratton, and he was a member of Vision Campus Ministry when he was a student here at MSU, and he's going to tell us how it changed his life.
All right. I started at Michigan State in 2001. And in leaving home, I really wanted to be away. I'm from New Jersey. So I left to get away from home, get away from parents, so to start my life and do my own thing. So I decided in my mind that in leaving, once I got to state, I was going to do my own thing. And so I just did. Anything that came up, everything that came up, I explored, tried, wanted to try, or whatever. And about a year later, I found myself just really feeling empty, really feeling like it had no purpose, that I wasn't fulfilled. So even though I was doing well academically, I did not feel as though I had anything outside of that. So I was sitting there one day and I said, what am I missing? And, oh God, what am I missing? And I said, oh my gosh, I'm missing God. And so from there, that opened me up to start to explore varying churches and varying campus ministries, and just really looking and searching for God. And for 3 years, I attended varying churches, sat down and listened to the word and the message, was a part of campus groups, youth groups, all sorts of things, but never really found a place that made me realize there was a difference in this whole thing. So I pretty much played church for 3 years. I went and I received messages, and some of the messages were impactful and did help me change. But it wasn't until I was getting closer to senior year, getting ready to, think about transitioning in life, and I saw a friend of mine, and I was at a church that I thought, okay, this is it, I'm liking it so far, and she was telling me, hey, there's a church, there's a student group that does Bible study and church services, and you should come. I guarantee it would change your life. And so I just thought about that word, and I was like, guarantee. She guarantees. I've never had anybody guarantee something of that nature or that effect when considering God or church. Talked to her a little bit more about it, and she was saying there was a small group and so forth, and I just couldn't get with it. She said there was no music. They played like a CD. They didn't have a praise team or a choir. Everybody was really young, and I just, in my mind, I was like, a church is supposed to have older people. There's supposed to be people that can sing and instruments and all this sort of stuff. So I didn't go. A few months later, ran into her again, and she said, hey, you really got to come to this church. It's growing, this group is growing, and I guarantee it will change your life. And I thought, here she goes again with this word, guarantee. And I just kept thinking about it, and was debating on whether I should go. In between all of that, somehow I ended up meeting Pastor Sean Holland, and sat down with him, spoke with him, and was talking to him about a men's mentoring group that I was doing. He never talked about the church, he never talked about the ministry. He was just really helping me understand what I needed to do to be able to reach young men of color in the sciences at Michigan State. And it gave me some insight and some thoughts to consider. And after seeing him, never saw him again. A little while later, I ended up attending the Bible study and attending the church service, and it did change my life. I was shocked. I went and I started going and continued to go because of the way that God moved through the Word, through the worship, through the praise, through the people that were there. It was something that within me, I was challenged to be a better person from day to day. It was as if every time I went, the message spoke specifically to a situation that I was going through, that I had just done, that I just woke up from, walked away from, or whatever. And I decided that I did not want to continue to go and have the same issue repeated over the pulpit, because it was like, Pastor Holland had a camera and secret agents that were running around taking snapshots of my life, and then he'd speak about it. The funny thing was, though, I wasn't the only one feeling that way, and so I would talk to other people after the services and after the Bible studies, and I'd say, man, it was just like he was all in my business, told all my stuff all over the mic. I don't know about this anymore. I don't know if I want to be here. This isn't cool. And they'd say, man, no, he was talking about me. And I know he was talking about me. And we'd go back and forth, and we'd realize that, okay, he couldn't have been talking about all of us, but it had to be a greater purpose behind it. If one message could touch so many different people in a different way that were going through different situations, but still feel like it was directly pointed at them. And so I just continued to go, just because it convicted me. I felt bad, and I did not want to be the same from Sunday to Sunday. I wanted to see a change. And so I would go, hear the word. I would go on Tuesdays, hear the message, take notes, and really challenge myself to open myself up for God to move and work within me, so that the next week I could be past that situation, and be ready to hear another word that would challenge me for another week. And for years I sat there. Nobody knew my name. Nobody knew who I was outside of being a friend of a friend. But I didn't care. I really just wanted God, and I wanted to experience the fullness of who God was in my life, and to be a part of the kingdom that He's created for me, because all the other stuff wasn't working. It wasn't satisfying. I had to do more and more just to sort of keep an edge. And I found that as I did more for God, it opened me up in a greater way, so that I felt more, I loved more, I experienced more in life, and enjoyed life in a different way than I had before. And since that time, everything's been different. Not that it's been easy, not that I've enjoyed the whole thing, from every aspect of my life, but in giving up a lot of other things, I've taken on a whole new experience.
All right, thank you.